Elle Ingalls here at pressure-free.com, elleingles.com, and today is June 25th, and this right here is the only picture that I have of my Uncle Peter. And it's really appropriate that he's got this little brook trout here because he drowned on a terrible fishing accident. So my Uncle Peter here was my dad's only brother. It was his half-brother because my father at the age of 3 was adopted by a really wonderful man, self-made man, self-educated man. He was a lumberjack and a farmer in the mountains of New Hampshire, caring for his family during the Depression and during some really tough times. And my Uncle Peter here, being my dad's only brother, he passed away at age 12 in a drowning accident, trying to save his best friend, and they both went down together. And I don't know how many people remember. So on June 25th, I remember. My grandparents died back in 1985. My father passed away in 2005. And so I don't know how many people actually still think about this person right here. So I'm going to show him again. So his name was Peter Everett Sterrett, and he was born in 1938, June 25th. So I have to correct my little post here. And he died in 1950. So he was 12, and I was born 12 years later. My name was supposed to be Peter Everett Sterrett. Instead, I was named Pamela Elizabeth Sterrett with the same initials. And I'll never forget when my grandmother said, "Have you ever seen your Uncle Peter's initials?" So she had me go around into a little area where there was, a chimney. And he had gone in there and he had carved his initials on the brick. And I looked at them, I was a little girl, and I'm like, those are my initials. When I was 12, I was supposed to go on a canoeing trip on the very river where he passed away. And my parents wouldn't let me do it. They canceled the trip for me because it would, and the reasoning was my father thought it would be too upsetting to his mom, to my grandmother. So pain, loss, when we've lost someone, the pain can be excruciating. And as my grandmother, who used to keep my Uncle Peter's memory alive, show me things, I often would ask, can I see Uncle Peter's box? It had his report cards and drawings. He was quite a painter and an artist at a young age. And, I just wanted to see these things. And so she was so positive. She was so incredibly positive. My grandmother, Minetta, was very sweet woman. And so she would keep his memory alive by sharing. But she also did something really special with people who had lost their children. She would console them and help them because she had been through it. And if you've lost a child or someone close to you, the pain, sometimes it changes, but it never goes away. And that was something she was so good at sharing with people and showing them how to keep memory alive in a very joyful and beautiful way. And so on June 25th, every year, I celebrate the birth of this person here. I never met him. I kind of considered him my guardian angel because I kind of pictured him just watching over me. I used to say some weird things too, high school, late junior high school years, some rather melodramatic things. I would say things like, well, only the good die young. But to be honest, I lived with a fear. Because my father lost his only brother, I lived with a fear. Also in our neighborhood, 6 families lost children when I was growing up. So I didn't think that all families' children could survive. And I kind of waited. When my youngest sister finally turned 18, I was like so happy because at least we all got to adulthood. And then when my own children got to 18, I'm like, oh, they all got to adulthood because I actually lived with the thought, with the belief, because what else could I know as a child? This was what I saw, that every family had to lose a child. So I grew up with that impression. And so I had to be very careful not to be an overcautious parent. And for those of you who know me and know my kids, I think you'll think I did a pretty good job of not being overcautious, because of the history and because of my father's loss of his brother. So, so those are my thoughts today. My family's arriving home, and I'm going to wish you a beautiful, pressure-free night. Bye.